Hey everybody, my name is Rydo, and today we are starting Life is Strange just in a few minutes. I want to go over the settings as I always do. Not really a lot that the Life is Strange asks of you. It asks you to adjust the screen's orientation, make sure nothing is overscanned or clipped off the edges. And then under Advanced for PC, everything was pretty much set for me except for anti-aliasing was at 4x MSAA instead of 8x MSAA, whereas everything else was the same. You can see that there's nothing extremely complicated in the options, and it looks fine out of the box. Now, there is a slightly off art style, I would say here. Slightly interesting volume levels because you can go half steps instead of full bars, and they give you 10 bars here, so that means you've got 20 different options. And then the biggest oddity I would say probably is the default subtitle language. You would think that default would just default for me to English, since that's my default, or if somebody else installed the French version, it would default to French and just say French. But as having its own secondary option of default, it makes me kind of feel like at times there's a possibility that some people will say something in a different language, say Spanish or French, and it will just be subtitled in their language as they say it. I'm not sure if that's true. We'll have to find out. Subtitles are on by default. The size, normal, large, and really, really large, hella large as they put it, is an interesting option you don't get to see. And then subtitles semi-opaque overlay is off by default. Interesting. So we might want to play with those a little bit. So Life is Strange is a interesting adventure game from the perspective of a teenage girl, and one of the, while it was overall reviewed and commented as being a great game, one of the complaints that sometimes is thrown against it is the language. I think setting a game in a high school environment for the United States could bring about all different results, because you don't even really have to go to a different city to find different high schools in the same area have different slang, different ways things happen, different just fads that are happening. Arguably, we may find out at the end, since this game is made by two adult video game programmer males, that they weren't particularly writing what they knew, and that it was a team of 15 overall. As far as controller settings and all of that, it's nothing for the Xbox controller that I'm using, but that's fine. It's working out of the box, so no real connection there. How to play is oddly faded out because we haven't started the game. Choices will unlock as we make some choices in the game. This is going to be somewhat like a Telltale game, I imagine, but perhaps in this case the choices will actually matter. You can get a Square Enix account if you want. There has been a slight rebranding of this. This is now called Life is Strange Season 1, and I'm covering this right now because Season 2 has been sort of announced, but then also confused. See, it says, well, welcome to Life is Strange Season 1 in the lower left-hand corner. Because pretty soon, Life is Strange Before the Storm, which is a prequel, is going to come out. And they kind of never announced the prequel. So I am very confused, because as soon as announcements of the prequel came out, kind of understandably, they stopped talking about a sequel. So I don't know if there really is a sequel still in development. They were also saying, though, that the story probably wraps up very well, and so if we get a season 2, we might not have the same characters anyways, which is fine. And I think that's all we need to know. Prepare for some teenage drama. Prepare for some interesting twists and turns. And I think that's all I'll say. Let's begin. Life is Strange is based on the features of the player's choice. The consequences of all your actions and decisions will impact the past, present, and future. Choose wisely. That's similar to what's in front of many Telltale games. And in Telltale's case, it's not true. This looks a million times better than any Telltale game. It does kind of have a soft 3D animation filter on top of a realistic appearance.
What's happening?
Her lips aren't moving when she's talking.
I'm trapped in a storm? How did I get here? And where is here?
Oh well, she may just be thinking inside of her head.
There's the lighthouse. I'll be safe if I can make it there. I hope. Please let me make it there.
So, I'm in charge now. She's got her hands up, trying to block the wind. There's no way back. There's a table. I can go to the lighthouse and nowhere else. So we'll play along. Feels like the camera wants to just subtly point me in the right direction, even though I control it with the right stick. This is what you typically call a prelude. Something glowing in the light there. Giant tornado that's not moving, really. Blackwell Academy and a sign. Wow, that looked like it was about to hit her. There was some talk that a lot of publishers brought up the idea of turning Max into a male character. That is still something that the video game industry says, and apparently statistics still seem to point it out, that people don't buy female characters in games.
Holy shit.
Games with female protagonists as much as male protagonists. Honestly, though, for what I understand the story...
Whoa. That was so surreal.
Famously called film Little Pieces of Time. But he could be talking about photography, as he likely was.
Look at how the clock isn't quite round.
Everything's cool. I am okay.
From light to shadow. From color to chiaroscuro. Now, can you give me an example of a photographer who perfectly captured the human condition in black and
I didn't
white?
fall asleep, and that sure didn't feel like a dream.
This is an interesting...
There you go, Victoria. Why Arbus?
Because of her images of
interesting classroom.
Like
it's
totally
like
haunted by the eyes of those
only 8 people here.
She saw humanity
Let's
as
look.
Look at this crap. How can I show this to Mr. Jefferson? I can hear the class laughing at me now.
So, she saw humanity is tortured, right? And frankly, it's BS. I guess the dialogue is paused as I'm looking. So, already, it's going to be introspective in its dialogue. I don't see how a teenage boy would be as introspective. So I don't think the story would work that way. This game is, by the way, the second game I believe that I forgot the name of it. It's something like Do Not Hit or something entertainment. I'll look it up between next recording. It's the second game they've made. They made a game before this called Remember Me. I do want to play it at some point, but it had this combo system of fighting in it that was not very interesting or implemented well at all. And so they've kind of rewritten a similar story with a completely different interface, which is a good idea.
Right? And frankly, it's bullshit. Shh, 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 shh. Keep that to
I
yourself.
can't believe I still have this pencil case. I should upgrade to the 21st century. But I like it old school.
Let's go and take a selfie
Any one of you could do that
in the
to me.
middle of class.
Shh, shh, shh. I believe Max has taken what you kids call a selfie. A dumb word for a wonderful photographic tradition. And Max has a gift. Of course, as you all know, the photo portrait has been popular since the early 1800s. Your generation was not the first to use images for selfie expression. Sorry, I couldn't resist. The point
That is some
remains that
bad
the
writing.
portraiture has always been a vital aspect of art and
Teacher trying to be
photography for
cool.
as long as it's been around. Now, Max, since you've captured our interest and clearly want to join the conversation, can you please tell us the name of the process that gave birth to the first self-portraits?
So I can say you're asking me, or I don't know.
You're asking me? Let me think.
You either know this or not, Max. Is there anybody here who knows their stuff?
Louis Daguerre was a French painter who created daguerreotypes, a process that gave portraits a sharp reflective style like a mirror. Now you're totally stuck in the retro zone. Sad face.
Very good, Victoria. The Daguerrean process brought out fine detail.
I haven't kept up with my journal as much as I should. If anybody else looked at this, what would they think?
And see, this is the journal slash menu. And then episode 1, this was an episodic game. And we can see all the locations. And have a very special 18th birthday on 9/21. Let's see. Like, apparently, Warren, you're ignoring.
In the 1800s onward. The first American daguerreotype self-portrait was done by Robert.
Sorry, Max. No more selfies right now.
You can find out all about him in your textbook. Or
My little
even-
camera bag is battered, but still kicking.
And guys, don't forget the deadline to submit a photo in the Everyday Heroes contest. I'll fly out with the winner to San Francisco, where you'll be feted by the art world. It's great exposure, and it can kickstart a career in photography. So Stella and Alyssa, get it
So are
together.
we in New
Taylor,
Jersey?
Don't hide. I'm still waiting for your entry, too. And yes, Max, I see you pretending not to see me.
So we start with an interesting beginning here,
Victoria doesn't waste a second kissing ass.
where we
Damn,
have
They have carbon fiber tripods here. The ball head even has a pan lock. God, I'm such a photo nerd.
yeah, this seems like a very expensive high
That was
high
amazing
school.
when Mr. Jefferson took a class picture the first week. Even though I didn't want to be in the picture at all, it was fairly fucking cool to watch him at work framing us.
A lot of cussing, somewhat appropriate for how teenagers probably talk.
I love seeing Mr. Jefferson's awesome photos on these magazine covers.
What's interesting is it's a slightly CG overlook for the real world, and it's even more
That printer is
CG.
amazing.
And
I'd love to see how it reproduces my pictures. I could pump out a whole gallery show with that thing. When I don't suck.
let's
Someday.
see.
Obviously Blackwell spent bank on the computers here. Looks like somebody was already working on this. Cool.
And see, I don't know if I'm really unlocking things or if I'm just kind of being fun.
Even her school books are gift wrapped.
OCD.
I can't believe she made fun of me in class. What is she, 15 years old? And people laughed. Of course, Victoria has to have the bestest, newest, most expensive everything. I should have known. She'll have better equipment than Blackwell.
Yeah, even a really rich school, I don't think
where cameras go to heaven.
you would
Oh, man,
you
they
would
have
have
those
this.
sweet ultrasonic lenses, and look at that vintage rangefinder. What?
Like, I don't even think a rich school you'd be allowed to have a tablet and a photo and a old-fashioned camera there.
Kate looks so sad and quiet today.
Let's
Poor thing.
talk to her.
Hi, Kate. Oh, hi, Max.
Let's go. You seem quiet today.
You seem quiet today.
Just thinking too much.
Let's ask her for
I
tea.
hear that. Wanna go grab a cup of tea and bitch about life?
Thanks, but not today. I have to go over homework.
No worries. Let's hang later.
Sure.
So I'm gonna try to be nice to everybody in this game. Now, the Telltale game references are gonna probably happen a lot, but
Now I wish I wouldn't have read this. Purge.
and see if you need help reading it, then you can hit A, which is very nice. Like, the engine for Telltale games is very old and needs to be redone, and I can see that this Square Enix game, in comparison, has already
This might make a cool shot.
shown more ability to do things and interact with things than a Telltale game would. We haven't even gotten out of one room, and we've been able to take photos, look at things, interact with things. I imagine part of the game is taking photos. That the idea here, you don't even have to really know what to take a picture for because it gives you a slight hint. So there might be some spoilers there too. Part of the game, I imagine, is going to be trying to find all the photos and go for the achievements if you can. Doesn't seem like there's a timer or anything.
Man, he even has the best plasma HDTV for a class monitor. Can't wait to watch some more documentaries on this bad boy. Here's the poster for the contest. Mr. Jefferson really expects me to enter. Why? I don't know if I'm ready for my 15 minutes of infamy.
Please. Like, in all seriousness, these contests are more about boosting feelings of aspiring photographers instead of actually boosting celebrity.
Even in pictures, the forest around here always looks mysterious.
Photography is actually kind of a bad attempt at a career path. It's a fine hobby, but don't try to make any money with it because the only people that
never escape the lighthouse here.
Even slightly want to pay you are newspapers, which are usually going out of business and could only pay one photographer at all to do all their work, and they don't pay them very well, or wedding photographers, and even as the years go by, people don't even want to pay wedding photographers.
Whoa, Mr. Jefferson is not messing around with that
because
monster.
they just assume that they
paid 20 grand for that camera. I bet he gets pristine digital images.
and see
But I still dig my little instant camera.
that's the problem is it's not uncommon for people to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on a camera setup with all of the lighting and cameras and mounts and stands and lenses and filters and gels that change the lighting to different hues of color. It's kind of a non-stop cavalcade of things you can buy for jobs that really don't exist that much.
Every time I look at Victoria, I feel like she's talking smack about me.
So I guess we're gonna try to be friends with everybody.
This is ridiculous. I always get so shy and nervous around Mr. Jefferson.
He is kind of too cool in his dress and for a teacher, and this feels like just a way too prestigious school for Max here. When you look at, let's see if we can get her so that we can see her clothing. She's not particularly dressed in high fashion, and she kind of, just by her appearance, looks poor. So I don't know how she's in the school. Let's talk to him. Might as well bite the bullet.
Excuse me, Mr. Jefferson, can I talk to you for a moment?
Yes. Excuse you.
No, Victoria. Excuse us. I'd never let one of photography's future stars avoid handing in her picture.
Do I have to?
Do I have to? I just don't think it's that big a deal.
Max, you're a better photographer than a liar. Now, I know it's a drag to hear some old dude lecture you.
Now, her lips are
Life
moving
won't wait
now.
for
The
you to
lip
play
sync
catch
isn't
up. You're
great.
young, the world is yours, blah, 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 right? But you do have a gift. You have the fever to take images, to frame the world only the way you envision it. Now, all you need is the courage to share your gift with others. And that's what separates the artist from the amateur.
I thought what separated the artist from the amateur is whether you've ever convinced anybody to pay you for any of your work. So, have we looked at everything?
Check these out anytime. The Decisive Moment by Henry Cartier-Bresson. That's rare. Annie Leibovitz, mad respect. The amazing Eugene Smith. Good to see Abaddon among the masters. Golly, of course. Lots of people I haven't heard of yet. I guess that's why I'm here.
Long conversation there for just looking at books. At least you can walk around and look. I'll be interested to see if there's, say, 6 to maybe 10 people in this classroom. It'll be interesting what the other classrooms for other courses are like.
You didn't tell me how cute I looked yet.
I was about to. You always
Welcome to the real world.
hot.
Then I might send
It's a
you a
pretty full hallway.
She plays it so sharp.
I need a serious timeout in the bathroom. Splash water on my face and make sure I don't look like a total loser.
So she's has some sort of social anxiety. And then here you go. Don't Nod Entertainment. That's the name of the company. I guess I should have guessed they would say their own name in the intro. Like, are you allowed to have music players in this fancy school too? Like, it seems odd. Nope, can't go that way even though the door opened. They shouldn't have had somebody walk through that.
I think that's Courtney. She's such a slave to Taylor and Victoria. There's Taylor, always waiting for Victoria. Ah, the science room. Here's the portal to Warren's brain.
So Warren's...
These missing persons posters are popping up everywhere.
Rachel Amber. Tattoo on the calf of a dragon and a star inside her left wrist. Call that 555 number. We'll keep an eye out. Now, I'm having a slight problem trying to get the camera to look at this. Seriously, this is your blood drive picture? A lot of music here. I think that's probably appropriate.
Evan doesn't say much to me, but his photos are very cool.
Now, this girl, like, as she walks through here, I guess I can only look at people that are standing. We are moving at a kind of slow crawl, too.
Alyssa is always texting, but she doesn't hang out with a lot of people.
There
Evan
is
doesn't
something
say
I'm
much to
noticing.
me, but his photos are very cool.
Like, I'm noticing I've seen two girls that are really of a specific body type, what you would call the spoon body type. There's several different body types that they classify women in. I just got bumped by somebody. And they're pretty big, and then everybody else is what you would call the ruler body type, and they're extremely skinny. Which looks like a artistic style, sort of, but also kind of a
Yes, this poster must stop bullies dead in your tracks.
bully free. So you can't look at people just walking back and forth. Alright. So there's some random people.
That's Dana talking to, I think his name is Justin.
And here's look at a
I
locker.
hate having everybody see inside my locker.
Wow.
I love that picture of Mom and Dad. Hello, Jack. Kiss, kiss. Andy, you look totally fabulous, as usual.
I think that was a famous actor. So notice this girl's jeans are completely ripped up,
Dana is on my
and
floor,
her
too.
shirt is really
She's such an archetypal, gorgeous cheerleader. They
is
must
too
make them in a
low.
factory. I shouldn't be so catty. Dana is nice to me.
Really, would a school allow somebody to dress that way? If I was a teacher or a principal, I'd be sending her home.
Stella is always deep in her notes. She didn't come to Blackwell to mess around.
This Blackwell. Blackwell sounds like a military private organization, not a school. It's like, yeah, I go to Blackwell. We're training to be private military contractors. We're taking out terrorists around the world.
I've seen Brooke hanging out with Warren. She seems like his type.
So you're getting some stereotypical appearances here. Like, is this an Asian girl that's into technology? Let's see.
Poor Daniel. He's so nice. I wish I could beat the shit out of Logan. I hate bully jockstraps like Logan. Auntie's a Vortex Club member.
Vortex Club? That's a little on the nose with this prelude.
It looks like she's been gone for months.
And this is the same girl.
I wish October would last forever. They should just call it a sugar machine. That would be awesome if you put money in there and a bag of sugar dropped out.
I think a lot of schools have stopped putting sugary drinks in the
You can
machines.
never have enough ghosts and skeletons in the hall.
I don't know what is in them.
Don't
Juice?
be the PC. missed the poetry jam tryouts, and I did not steal that backpack.
Let's see. My backpack with all school books and the new laptop were taken from the cafeteria. And oh, I was thinking
That's
maybe
so
the
messed
PC
up.
for sale
I should contact them to
was
find out
the
what I can do.
one that was stolen, but it doesn't
As if
seem
I
like
am.
that's the case. Like, that's why you wouldn't have students walking around with tablets in their backpack, at least part of it. You would.
I wonder what actually happened to her.
So it seems like we get a different response every time we see one of these.
Good thing I left my AK at home.
Gun-free zone. There is a valid argument to be made there. It's just having signs and security theater isn't
There's
going to help
Hayden,
anything.
Another Vortex Club bro. But he's actually not an ass. Oh, I can hardly wait to never be too cool like Nathan and Victoria. Lame.
So the thing I'd like to do, and it's not working, is I'd like to be able to hit the right stick and zoom in and get a first-person perspective, but that's not how it
Looks like
works.
she's been gone for months.
So she only has 3 responses for this. So the right stick just kind of recenters your camera. Let's see, we were going to the bathroom to hide away from people.
These missing persons posters are popping up everywhere.
So clearly the missing person is a big
Alert,
deal.
alert. This poster has Warren written all over it. There's Juliet from my dorm. Yet another Vortex Club disciple.
Well, I hope all of these people are showing up in
Figures
my
Juliet
my
and Zachary. Jocks swept
journal.
up in the Vortex Club.
because if they're not showing up here, then I'm going to be really confused if I have to memorize all these people. Apparently none of them really matter, or I'm gonna have to memorize them because there's only 4 important people.
Samuel is such a weirdo, but I kind of like that about him. I wonder what actually happened to her.
I feel like there's gonna be an achievement for
Blackwell sure takes its swimming seriously.
finding all the posters.
But otters are cute. Go otters. Look at these trophies. Gotta give it up for those Bigfoots. They do stomp. You can really learn a lot about a school by the weird shit posted on the boards.
So, best singers ever, looking for the best guitarist ever, call Steve Hackney. Sad, lonely, depressed. Bible study Sundays at noon in Arcadia Bay Library. All faiths welcome. Swim like an otter. Experienced PE and teacher from the Otter Champion personally. Call Michelle Borecci. Like new tablet for sale, contains 5 gigs of cat pics, ha ha ha. So that is probably the tablet that was stolen. They're now just trying to sell it.
He's cute. I like skater boys. Too bad they don't like me.
And so we don't even know his name, which is an interesting
Halloween,
statement.
My favorite time of year.
Halloween's my favorite time of the year too.
There's the lighthouse again.
Go to the main campus with the A button. So some of these doors are gonna work.
How many students ever actually memorize all this shit? I guess we all should these days.
I kinda did.
Miss Grant is a great science teacher.
Yeah, I kind of so far would wish that there's multiple body types and there's just a difference.
Rachel Amber. She's so pretty. I hate these posters. So sad.
I hate that the game goes from incredibly almost anorexic and looks to probably obese. The music's still playing, so I think it might be looping, but it's doing a good job of looping because I'm not recognizing it. What is slightly interesting is the fact that there's missing posters on the floor too, but apparently I can't look at any of those. There's no objective as far as I can tell. Like October. Oh, here it is. Objective. I need to freshen up in the bathroom. I kind of wish you'd just say I need to go to the bathroom instead of saying I'm going in there to hide from people and put water on my face.
Empty and good. Nobody can see my meltdown. Except for me.
And severe social anxiety. Like, I didn't like people in school. And I tried to avoid them, sure, but...
I feel like the universe is taunting me everywhere I go today. It all started with that bizarro dream in class. Am I going crazy? Now, who would bother to write that crap? This poster must drive people to have sex.
I like how they put the graffiti.
I'm good to flow. Thanks.
Let's look at the poster here.
The last time I got a flu shot, I got the flu. Fuck you.
A lot of people say that, but that's not... It's not true. The flu shot does not give you the flu. What it sadly does is it gives you symptoms sometimes like the flu, but it helps protect people that can't afford to get the flu, the young and the elderly. So it is incumbent and important. I'm not sure I like this effect here, that healthy adults and average people do get the flu shot as much as possible for herd immunization.
At least I got out of science class for that quiz.
The mirror's working, and it looks like it's working good. Feels kind of pandering that this is something that you can even look at when you look. The soap isn't something you can look at. The sink isn't something you can look at except for the one you can use. The toilet's not something you can look at. I mean, you're kind of exoticizing the females a little bit there, which too much of that has probably happened already. Let's complete the objective. We've gone quite a long way just to put water on our face. And no animation to actually turn the sink, so they save some budget there.
Just relax. Stop torturing yourself. You have a gift.
Just turn it in. Who cares?
Fuck it. When a door closes, a window opens. Or something like that.
Of course, that saying is flawed because
Okay, girl, you don't get a photo op like this every day.
doors are easier to fly through, to walk through, than a window. That's not an improvement. That's a degradation. Let's take a photo. And I guess I could have looked instead of taking a photo. Maybe I could have done both. Why is the guy getting in the girl's bathroom?
It's cool, Nathan. Don't stress. You're okay, bro. Just count to 3. Don't be scared. You own this school. If I wanted, I could blow it up. You're the boss. So what do you want?
I hope you check the perimeter, as my step-ass would say. Now, let's talk business.
I got nothing for you.
Wrong. You got hella cash.
That's my family, not me.
Oh, boo-hoo, poor little rich kid. I know you've been pumping drugs and shit to kids around here. I bet your respectable family would help me out if I went to them. Man, I can see the headlines now.
Leave them out of this bitch.
I can tell everybody Nathan Prescott is a punk ass who begs like a little girl and talks to himself.
You don't know who the fuck I am or who you're messing around with.
Where'd you get that? What are you doing? Come on, put that thing down!
Don't ever tell me what to do. I'm so sick of people trying to control me!
You are going to get in hella more trouble for this than drugs.
Nobody would ever even miss your punk ass, would they?
Get that gun away from me, psycho! No!
Whoa. What the fuck? How can that be? I was in the bathroom.
And
He shot that poor girl.
she has magic
I
powers
held up my hand,
to rewind time.
and then I was back here.
Probably most people that knew anything about this game knew that much.
I already heard this lecture.
From light to shadow. From color.
Now Kate is being hassled again. And if Victoria's phone rings, this is real.
Now,
Shit!
can you give me an example of a
Man, I
photographer
cannot believe
who
this.
captured the human condition in black and white?
Okay, if I'm crazy, I might as well go all the way. Can I actually reverse time?
Go, Victoria. Why Arbus?
Hold
Because
left
of her
trigger
images
to
of hope,
rewind.
let's face it.
And so you only have a certain amount you can rewind. And 2 copies of you.
Can you give
I
me an
actually
example
did
of a photographer who perfectly
I'm a
captured the
human
human
time
condition in
machine.
black and white? Anybody?
So can I
Max,
answer?
Don't freak out. Not yet.
There you go, Victoria. Why Arbus?
Still the same stupid. Keep it together, Max.
You feel like totally haunted by
My
the eyes
pencil
of
case
this
is still in the... When I took my selfie, Jefferson asked me a question. If he does again, I'll notice this. What is going on? Nothing has moved. If anybody else looked at this, what would they think?
I could frame
And see,
If
we've
anybody
got
else
a
looked at
new
this, what would they
new
think?
person, Nathan, and we now have a new location, or I guess more accurately, a new time.
Dark corner and capture you in a moment
Damn it!
of desperation.
Everything is the same.
And any one of you could do that to me.
Wowzer! My old broken camera is new again.
Obvious. What if Arbus chose to capture people at the height of their beauty or innocence?
And then the question is,
She
if I
had a
just
brilliant eye.
sat here
So
and
she
didn't
could've
take a
taken another
selfie.
approach.
I have to admit, I'm not a big fan of her work. I prefer Robert Frank.
Me too, Victoria. He captured the essence of post-war beat America. And there was honesty about the economic
So
conditions of
we're in an
America.
interesting
But a
position
beauty in
here
the struggle.
because
You don't have beauty without a
we
beat,
could sit here
which
and not
explains
take a
why
photo,
Frank was Kerouac's photographic muse,
or we could take the
and both were
photo
the great chroniclers
and then move the
of the
story forward.
1950s. Well, we've all seen that iconic shot of Kerouac on the balcony. And if you haven't, shame, shame. Capturing the romantic urban solitude of the 20th century.
Eventually, you would think the bell would ring.
Now, contrast Frank's stark Americana with Salvador Dali's surrealist photographs. Like Cocteau, he was a true Renaissance man.
They're naming a
His famous
lot of
portraits are
people
famous.
that
Early
I
examples of that
don't think
truly
you should
awful
probably
word
teach that
SDKs
way. Is
love
just
so much.
talk about the
Self-
same artists,
And it's a great
so many
tradition, and
artists
I
at the same
wholeheartedly fight for
time.
your right to self-expression.
And frankly, for a
Or
photography class,
self-expression.
him sitting there and talking is
Sorry,
not
I know.
helpful.
So if anybody wants to question the portrait as modern,
So he
narcissism,
just made the
they go
joke
back hundreds of years
that-
to blame society. Speaking of
that he
questions,
would have
I
said.
bet you thought I'd talk all the way until the bell rang. It's your turn to lecture us. Now, Based on the chapters I have no doubt you all memorized, who can tell me the name of the actual process that led to the birth of the self-portrait?
See, here's the question. And see, we're just going to sit in silence.
Anybody? This does not bode well.
And so I can trigger the question, but I kind of want to know what happens if I do nothing. We're doing the
Just jump right in with an answer.
backwards in time. If you go back in time, don't do anything because you'll change too much. But I guess I have to because it's locked us here into this point. So let's take the selfie.
This was in the chapters you read. Shh. I believe Max has taken what you kids call a selfie. A dumb word for a wonderful photographic tradition. And Max has a gift.
I don't get the
I'm not
idea of
dreaming
praising one student especially.
I can tell.
The early 1800s. Your generation.
So I
was the
can go
first
back in
to use
time.
images for Selfie expression.
What if that girl isn't dead yet?
Couldn't resist. The point
Can I
remains
save
that
her?
The portraiture has always been a vital aspect of art and photography for
I need to go to the bathroom quickly and check it out.
Now, Max, since you've captured our
I can
interest and
skip
clearly
this
want
with
to
the
join
right bump.
conversation, can you please tell us the name of the process that gave birth to the first self-portraits?
So this is going to be the way that this works is we will be able to say different things as we rewind time. However, we have gone the requisite time that I want to go per recording, so we're going to end right here and probably run into more challenges. I imagine that at least a portion of the first episode of the game is going to be about saving that girl who apparently she doesn't know. So how she knows so many other people and not her or the one other guy seems a little odd, but maybe the blue-haired girl is new. That's going to be it for this recording. So far so good. The writing is a little rough. They could have had a teenager come in or two and check the way things were being said, I think. As always, I end my episodes the same way. I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos because all of that helps me out, tells YouTube that my videos are worth watching. When you subscribe, if you click the notification bell, you'll get notifications. That helps you know when my videos are available. If you want to friend or follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Steam, or Battle.net, all of those links are down below in the description also. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.